Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I didn't used to feel like this? Not dramatic stress, not crisis stress, just constant. The kind that hums in the background, that shows up as fatigue or tension or brain fog, or that feeling that you're always a little behind, even when you're doing everything right. If you're over 40, you're not imagining it and you're not failing. Pause for a moment. Because what's happening isn't about motivation or discipline or resilience. It's about accumulation. And as stress accumulates, it creates dis-ease, essentially the lack of ease. Most women I work with don't describe one big breaking point. They describe layers, years of being capable, reliable, the one who holds things together, careers, families, aging parents, invisible emotional labor. The one who's waking at 3 a.m. with a mental list of to dos scrolling through their mind. Stress didn't arrive suddenly, it arrived quietly and stayed. We've become so conditioned to it that we may not even call it stress. Here's what we're rarely told: stress isn't just something you experience, it's something your body stores, especially when there's no space to complete the stress cycle, especially when rest is postponed or minimized or earned only after everything else is done, and it's never done. And after 40, the margin for recovery narrows. Hormonal shifts change how your nervous system responds, how quickly you bounce back, how deeply stress imprints. What once felt manageable now feels heavier. Not because you're weaker, but because your system has been carrying more for longer. This is the part where many women turn inward and blame themselves. Why can't I handle what I used to? Why does my body feel so unpredictable? Why am I tired even when I'm trying so hard to be healthy? But here's the reframe that changes everything. The human body isn't doomed to break down after 40. It's just less forgiving and communicating that fact. Fatigue is not laziness. Tension is not a character flaw. Brain fog is not a lack of focus. These are signals, information. Your nervous system saying, we've been in on mode for a very long time. And here's what's unsettling, but also freeing. Most of us were never taught how to listen. We were taught to push through, to override, to normalize stress as the price of a full life. That's biology. Honestly, we wouldn't be happy in a stress free life, but too much of an energizing thing is a recipe for burnout. Stress that isn't processed doesn't disappear, it accumulates, and eventually it asks for attention, sometimes gently, sometimes loudly, sometimes like a toddler laying on the floor in a department store screaming and crying, demanding attention. So if stress feels different now, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because something important has changed. And understanding that is the first step towards relief. Not fixing, not forcing, just noticing. Because when you stop treating stress as a personal failure, you create space for a different relationship with your body, one built on awareness and respect and recovery. So, take a breath. You're not behind. You're responding to years of being strong, even when you felt anything but that. And this is where a new conversation begins.